What is up, comic fans? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. It's Sunday night. That means this is At Weeks in the spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics and so much more. And it's a special spoilery episode tonight. We have Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse just dropped this week, so we'll be going full in on spoilers right at the front of the show. So let's get into it. All right, to kick it off, I want to give a big thank you to the local sponsor, the Augusta Book Exchange, as well as Justin's Comics. If you need anything cleaned or pressed, hit the link in the description. Let them know you found and be the channel. And a huge shout out to Big Time Collectibles, who sponsor the monthly Legion Loot giveaway box, which we'll be drawing for the winner of tonight. So if you don't know, the channel members in the Legion tier get put in onto a wheel, and once a month we pick a winner for a massive prize pack. And I'll show off what that is after we do the Spider-Man talk and all that. Give everybody time to hit that join button and see if it's something you'd consider doing. And if you're in the Legion already and want to up your membership to get put on the wheel, you have a little bit of time to do it before we get there. But let's go ahead and get the panel in and get the show rolling.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going, Paul?
Good. Newsflash, I have seen the movie that we're going to be talking about tonight.
Yeah. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You definitely held it down last time, though. Give you credit. What was the movie? The last one we did?
It was Guardians of the Galaxy. I wasn't able to see it that weekend.
Yeah. Have you seen it yet?
No.
Moving right along. DJ Lynx is in the building. He's in a building. We're not sure which building.
Right.
Yeah, I'm being captive somewhere.
Look like a Foot Locker. Payless. Where you at?
I'm in the basement of Foot Locker. Yes, I am, sir. That's where I'm at. Damn, I wish I had a referee shirt now.
So for those that know, we was on In the Mix with DJ Lynx. It's back on Friday nights. In the Mix is finally back from its construction hiatus. Congratulations on the new room. Congratulations on the shoes. Maybe one day you can wear a pair of them and you don't walk around barefooted, but they still look good in your background.
Yeah, I'm waiting to get this hammer toe surgery.
Perfect. Damn hammer toe. And we have a special guest joining for the first time on Out Weeks In. Who better to invite than the Spider-Man guy himself? He's already seen the movie twice, hailing all the way from the Izzyverse, Izzy himself.
What's going on, everybody? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, that he was stranded in a Foot Locker now, you know.
He's not wearing the proper shirt, so we should be okay.
Or a champ.
Yeah. A champ.
I know, right?
As long as it's not foot action.
Yeah. Those are some cool shoes. I was asking him about them before the show.
DJ with his new sponsor, Nike.
Yeah. Tonight's episode is officially sponsored by Nike. Let's say hey to the chat real quick and get into it. Las Cruces clocked in at 11:48 a.m. That might be a new record for Las Cruces, but he did return at 3:32 to really cement it in there. What's going on? Tate Prime upped his membership, got him on the wheel already. He did that earlier today. TM Nerdy, who is already a member, just renewed today. I'm going to skip this episode, but I'll be in the chat. Haven't seen the movie. No worries, Mike. Looking forward to having you back on to talk some comics.
Never stop me.
Yeah, haven't seen it yet either. Got tickets for Tuesday. Yeah, it didn't stop, Paul. That's probably
the bargain tickets. That's got to be it. The bargain tickets right there. Tuesday tickets.
What is going on, Durs? I know a lot of people haven't seen it yet. And a lot of people that have seen it haven't heard it. Account for next week, Transformers Rise of the Beast. Yeah, I got my tickets. I told him this on Remy's Place last night. So me and Kyle were talking last night, and we got looked at our schedule for the week, and we're able to go Thursday night to one of the earliest shows for Transformers. Unfortunately for the wallet, it is an IMAX to time it out right. So me, Kyle, Finn, and Monkey are all going Thursday night.
Oh, shit.
And we went and told Finn that we got a surprise. We just bought tickets for a movie. And he sat there. He goes, "What movie?" Just like that. And we said, "Well, what movie out of all the commercials you've seen do you want to see the most?" He said, "Transformers." And we showed him the phone with the tickets and the movie poster on it. And he just goes, and fell back with his arms out on the couch. Dude, that's why it's so fun to go to the theater. Like, it's just, you don't get that experience saying, hey, I want to turn on Transformers.
Yeah.
We haven't even decided which day we're going to see it because my wife's schedule is kind of getting in the way of watching the movie on Thursday, so we can't see it on Thursday. So therefore, sketchy show. Why not?
Sketchy show this Thursday. Perfect.
Oh, perfect.
I might try to go see it on Thursday.
Tyler's not here to hype him up, but Dr. Von Hoot is in the chat. What is going on? Shout out to Dr. Von Hoot because one of his very first variant cover exclusive is in the giveaway box tonight.
Oh, nice.
Ordered an extra copy to throw in there for the Legion loot. What's going on, Pops?
Yeah. Thanks, Pops. I got the tracking number. It should be coming in tomorrow. I'm excited.
What's that?
The giveaway that we had, Pops giveaway from the books. The comics.
Oh,
the 40
the Becker.
comics.
Yeah.
Mystery boxes.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that already.
Yeah.
It's been a busy weekend, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming in. It's scheduled to come in tomorrow. I'm excited
huge
about
congrats. Yeah, he shipped them all off on Friday. They went live Friday. They sold out and they were gone. Just got them out of town. What is going on, C Bizzle? Episode 20 of his show just dropped today. If y'all haven't checked out him here on YouTube, be sure to do that. I think I'm going to jump out since I'm seeing the movie on Tuesday. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Or you can just stay here and decide if you want to still go spend your money on it. Daredevil, what is happening? How are you doing tonight? Got you on the giveaway wheel as well.
NYC.
Oh, also Daredevil. I didn't see where it popped up when you joined the channel membership. I do a new member welcome packet. So if you want to hit me up on IG and let me know where to send one, they're absolutely free. Stickers, magnets, stuff like that. Just swag bag. Let me know.
I gotta send two too.
Looks like Arkham crossed with a sneaker shop, which is. Yeah, when's your first recorded video drop from that room?
Tomorrow. And I still don't have the whole room set up, so I did a video and I'm like standing up in the video, so it's weird. So I haven't even found my permanent camera placement or anything like that. So
I think that people at least not laugh about it after that video. I'm looking forward to that video.
That video was a banger.
Yeah, that's
how far was the camera to make you look so small though? So like that camera had to be like what, 3 feet away?
The one from the video today?
Yeah, well, the one from the live show.
Oh, the live show. No, so I mean, I have multiple lenses, so I have 3 different lenses.
So it was the lens that was causing you to go small.
Yeah, no, the lens. So I have the lens right there, like it's a professional camera. The lens was all the way back. Then in the video that I dropped for the members, like you can see, there's 2 different camera angles. I have another camera set up with it's far back, and then it also has a wide angle lens, so you can see the entire thing.
Yeah,
nice. Well, hello to everybody. I was scrolling through the names as we went. Porter's Hyde is here. Perry, what's up? Dope Comicx, what's up? Steven C, what's happening? Roger, good to see you, my man. But yeah, all that good stuff. Check out DJ Links every Friday night at 9 p.m. for In the Mix. He has a brand new room, brand new setup. That's where he's been gone. He's currently been shadow banned by YouTube in the process. So it'd be very helpful for the time being if you'll go to his channel and actually turn the all notifications on until he gets that momentum back going again, because that shadow banning thing is real. Like,
yeah,
YouTube is not in favor of you. Your stuff does not go out.
I even reached out to YouTube customer support. Legit, I was just like, "Hi, am I shadow banned?" Like, we don't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
It'd be like one of those situations like, what? No.
You should have put it in quotations. Am I shadow banned?
We don't do that.
What is the shadow ban that you speak of?
We would never hold content back from any creator.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you hear someone in the whisper, "It's that DJ Links. We gotta get."
You got lowercase DJ Links coming up on top instead of me.
Yeah, that's when I'm like, wait a minute, something's sketchy. Because I'm subscribed to only one of these DJ Links, and he's on the other one's on top.
There's this other guy, Comic Journey, that I think he's friends with. That's got to be it.
So tonight we are talking Across the Spiderverse. For those that don't know, this is everyone knows. 5 years later after Into the Spiderverse, really surprised most viewers. Like, 5 years, dude. It's not like, can I believe that?
That's crazy.
5 years. Doesn't feel like it.
The pandemic did some weird stuff with time. That's what I'll say. Because pandemic has messed us up with our time period.
That's true.
Where this summer is the summer of the final rollout of pandemic delays. So we have Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, which was a shooting during the pandemic. The Flash, which was a pandemic delay. We have Across the Spiderverse, it was a pandemic delay. This is it. So I mean, we're still seeing the ripple effects of all that stuff. And what's ironic is all these films were still shooting during the lockdown.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that we're at the brink of the writer's strike, which is the director's strike might be coming on its way. So all these delays might catch up because of that writer's strike. So
these studios are going to regret dropping all these at once. They're going to have needed to.
They'd be like, "Oh no!" But he might delay stuff just because of that reason.
Yeah, we're going to get some. I hope that they actually delay projects and don't just do what they did last time and just write them themselves or find people not in the guild to write them and stuff. There's a clear quality difference.
1000%. One of the shows that really suffered from that during the first writer's strike, or the one that a couple of years ago, was Lost.
Lost, yeah.
Lost movies. Wolverine. The Wolverine X-Men's Origin was
Yep, that was completely like rewritten on the fly, like without a script or anything. They didn't even have dialogue for Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. He came in and they would go on set.
He wasn't supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah, they just added him in at the end and they didn't have dialogue for him. So when they put him on set, he's like script. They're like, "This is the scene. You got it." He's like, "Yeah." So we just
we're gonna make the merc with the mouth silent.
Yeah, he can't even improvise now. But the Directors Guild just signed a 3-year contract, so maybe they're gonna. Yeah. Maybe something will come through.
That just came out. That news just came out with the Directors Guild's contract.
It was sorry, yesterday actually.
Oh wow, cool. That's a good sign then.
Yeah.
It says it's a pretty active June for movie releases. I put up a post when I got my Transformer tickets, and I said this is probably the busiest June for movie releases in my lifetime. Because we just had Guardians. I mean, that was last month, but it was close, And then we have Spiderverse, then we have Transformers, then we have Flash, and then there's something else this month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
you had Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
That terrible Indiana Jones movie.
I'm still going to see it.
Yeah, I'm sad to hear bad news about Indiana Jones,
Oppenheimer
with Mangold doing it. That's what shocked me. James Mangold.
I don't think they could get James Cameron to make Indiana Jones, and if Kathleen Kennedy is attached to it, it's going to suck somehow.
Wow, that sounds sexist, sir. I'm jumping on the sexist train.
Do it. Whether it's sexist or not, it's still correct.
She's a terrible producer because she's a woman.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure there's some good producers out there. I like me some Deborah Snyder.
Yeah.
I might be a little biased on that one, but I like me some Deborah Snyder. What is going on, William? So Spider-Verse, 5 years in the making. Here it is. Initial thoughts, and we'll get into the plot and stuff like that. Jump straight into spoilers after that, but where do you rank it on the handy scale, DJ?
Handy scale, I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 handies. I thought about it over the weekend. It was only one minor thing that I didn't like about it. Other than that, I love the movie. It's my first 5 out of 5 handies. Full explosion all over the seats, some in the popcorn. I absolutely love this movie.
Wow. That's a strong statement. Paul, how many rings does this movie get?
I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10 rings.
That's high as well. Let's see. For me, Izzy, we're going to come to you last so you can figure out your grading scale.
My grading scale has already existed a long time ago. It's called the Izzyverse.
We'll get there. So on my grading scale, I give it the very bottom of the green. It's green for sure. It's in the green, which that's a solid recommendation, but it's right where the green touches the yellow green.
Mm-hmm.
Izzy?
So my scaling is always on the Izzies. So I call them the Izzies. So I'm with Lynx. It's 5 out of 5 Izzies. I saw it the first time on Thursday, and then when I saw it today, I realized how great this movie really is.
What is going on, Bob, from last week? Glad you can make it back, my friend.
Hey, Bob Bobber.
Bob Bobber. He's going to be our resident contrarian. He was a blast last week.
Why Spider-Man race swap isn't this blackface?
How many
How many
rats?
rats do you give it, Izzy?
5 out of 5 rats.
5 out of 5.
I think you
I
found
give it
it.
a whole
Yeah,
splinter.
A rat scale.
It's a whole splinter.
That's hilarious.
All right.
I'm
So that's the
never
ratings.
it's never gonna end, the rat thing.
So I guess we can jump into it. I think y'all gave it a perfect score. Paul, what was it lacking? So what kept it from a perfect score for you?
For me, I thought the first half of the movie was about 20 to 25 minutes too long. I thought the first fight that he had with Spot went on way too long. It was like, I don't need to see 8 million arms come through different circles. You can do it once or twice, and I'm good with that. I can tell what you're doing. But the second half, once they got to the Hall of Spider-Man, it was, it was incredible. And aesthetically, you won't see a more innovative movie than what we saw up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's actually one of the detractors for me. And this is definitely a me thing. Well, I can recognize the quality of what the artists are doing in this, and I still want to see the artists. I want to verify how they're actually putting this movie together before I try to give it some kind of credit that's not meant for that kind of thing. Is this an actual team of artists putting this together? Is this a team of computer whizzes putting this together kind of thing? There's a huge difference in artists and computer whizzes. I mean, I still can't do that with a computer. I barely know how to log on to stream, but all the same, that's not the same thing. But the art in it is overboard. It's so overblown that it takes away from the movie. Prime example, the opening scene, we have this Vulture from this Da Vinci verse fighting Gwen, and you can't even stop to appreciate the style or the art or the design because you can't see it. It's already a sepia toned sketch Vulture, and it's constantly erratically moving, and everything in your foreground and your background is blurred out and in motion, and you're like, dude. I know I go back to what DJ said about wishing he could watch 3D movies, but it's too much, and that these movies are too much for me visually. And I'm sitting here I'm hyper aware of what I'm looking at. I'm always trying to find Easter eggs and pieces of stuff, even in movies that I don't expect them in. I know they're in this movie, so I'm looking everywhere, and it was just overload. And then on a basic level, the plot. It was such a regurgitated, lazy plot, but the movie was still good. It still operated without it. But this was the same plot from what was that last Spider-Man movie?
No Way Home.
It was the same plot from No Way Home. The exact same plot. Bad guys from the multiverse are popping into this world. We got to send them home. And then they even added a thing like, oh, the wiser, older mentor who's more aware of what's going on, I'm going to rebel against him because destiny. It's like literally the same thing. I mean,
I thought that too, but then to me it turned to, okay, you know what? We have to have this event happen in canon. That to me was where it became different.
Yeah, that's why it's still green for me, because they found a way to take that plot, like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and Wakanda Forgettable were the same plot, but they didn't really experiment too far off that template. This one took that template and did some really cool stuff with it. I love that whole canon aspect, and like I forget what word they used for like the variations that happen and how Miles was the first one. I guess we can get into that if y'all want to start talking about that's really all that I have negative to say about the movie. The rest of it I absolutely loved.
The anomaly.
The anomaly. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Which again, I'm with you on that. So watching the first time, I agree that certain things dragged a little longer than they have to. I think the Gwen story, when it first started, that was like a good 20 minutes that they might have cut off. But then again, seeing it a second time, knowing how long it's going to be, knowing the certain things that were about, I started understanding and appreciating it more so. Especially, with everything that happened with her relationship with Peter, her relationship with her dad, and then what her dad had to go through, after it was all said and done, because he was like, you know what, I'm still a cop, and I still got to be a cop. You know what I mean? And that moment at the first time I saw it, I was like, no, that's your daughter, man. You know what I mean? We're not fully spoiler yet, but
spoil the hell out of it, yeah.
But really, what the fact that he finds her, and that's typical, right? Typical of all movies, right? They find the hero with the other, and it's like, oh, she did it. But he still was like, you know what? I still got to arrest her because I still have to be the cop. So when he had the conversation with her afterwards and he quit, he was like, it doesn't matter to me anymore. Because you know what? I did everything by the book. And even at that moment, he was doing it by the book, right? So he was like, I can't choose right now. So I had to choose the book over my daughter the first time. When the second time, he's like, that's it. It's not about the book anymore. It's about my relationship with my daughter. So that's why that at first it felt long. And I agree that it did feel long. But watching it a second time, understanding what they were going for, I accepted it. And the movie actually went faster for me watching it the second time around. So
yeah, for me, I didn't think it was dragged out or long at all. I was actually like, wow, this is breezing by. Going into it, my expectations were really low. Like, I liked the first one. I don't love the first one. I don't think it's the perfect Spider-Man movie like everyone else says. I like it a lot, but I don't love it. This one, my expectations were they were even keel. Like, I wasn't like overly excited about it. But then when it started, and then like you said, the whole thing with the Da Vinci Vulture, that blew my mind.
He even had the wires on the suit.
Dude, that shit was fucking fire, man. And then when they just starting it with Gwen, I appreciated how they went through her eyes, her story, as Izzy was saying with Captain Stacy and stuff, and then having the rock music play with that, which is a total contrast from all the hip hop stuff with Miles that they introduced 20 minutes later or whenever he was brought back into the thing. I was blown away right from the beginning, and as it kept going on, my excitement level just grew. Like, I was like, this is magic. Like, this is literal magic right now, whether it's AI doing this or whether it's somebody actually, doing the art and stuff like that. I just had tremendous enjoyment out of this, man.
I just want to make sure it's not Skynet, this big plan to subliminally melt my brain.
Skynet went live.
Skynet has definitely.
Doesn't it have a new name or something? I forgot. Skynet has a new name now.
It was called Legion and Dark Fate, ironically.
Right,
it was called Genesis and the one before that.
Yeah, and I really like the way that they touched on just about everything in the Sonyverse that they've done with Spider-Man, and I like the fact that there were little parts that were, from Venom. You're right. You end up in that little bodega or whatever, right? Again, right? With
the Asian lady,
right?
Awesome.
So even the live action stuff, they touched on all of that as well, except for Tom Holland. Everything but Tom Holland.
They mentioned him though. They mentioned
Doctor Strange.
Right.
They mentioned Doctor Strange. I want to talk about that.
He said Doctor Strange and the Spider-Man from.
He didn't say Spider-Man. He didn't say Spider-Man.
Doctor Strange and the idiot from Earth 199.
He said, let me not talk about what happened to Doctor Strange in that other universe. So if spoiler part, the reason why it wasn't mentioned, obviously we know who's going to see him in the next part. It's almost guaranteed now, right? But the reason why it wasn't mentioned is to continue the thread of No Way Home that he's forgotten. So that's kind of the idea that he's actually forgotten even in multiverses. So they're doing that.
They only have to forget that Peter is Spider-Man, not
but still, even throwing that idea that he is Peter. You get my point? So the forgotten part that this is a Peter from this universe. That's why Miguel O'Hara mentioned Doctor Strange rather than Peter or Spider-Man. That to me was like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't catch that until afterwards. They're like, wait a minute, he's supposed to be forgotten because we literally saw practically almost every single Spider-Man that you could think of.
Right.
So I thought that was something that stood out for me. And among a whole bunch of other little things, I think the little things, Spider-Punk to me was my favorite character in the whole movie.
Yeah, he was awesome.
He was awesome, but at the same time, the guy was always thinking.
Yeah.
And at first it was just him being like an anarchist, but it was more like he was thinking what he was doing. He wasn't just there because, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he calls him the little nerd. He says Doctor Strange and the little nerd back on Earth 1999. The little nerd.
I thought he said idiot for some reason.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah.
I knew he called him something, but he definitely didn't call him Peter.
He called him Peter. He never called him Spidey.
Yeah, that's a good attention to detail on their part. Definitely is.
Yeah, no, that's a good.
Oh yeah, Roger nailed it. Yeah, that Lego part. I forgot.
Yeah, no one's even talking about that.
Yeah.
That he was like, he's one of the best ones that we're saying.
He's one of our best Spideys.
Here's another thing I noticed that was really clever to me was that in every universe, Jonah Jameson's the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons was in
J.K.
90s
Simmons like
animated series Spidey in
everywhere
it.
he went.
Yeah,
Well, they had to do the Lego
was
because
awesome.
I think Lord and Miller, who are the two people that produced it, they did the Lego.
They
movie.
did the Lego movie, yeah. They were the ones that did the Lego movie. So
I don't remember the 90s
Spider-Man,
Spidey in there. The
90s
60s was
Spider-Man was
hilarious.
Oh yeah, and then the
Yeah,
fact
where
that
he
he was flat.
He just
He was,
stops and gets a cramp.
That was funny.
they had him. They had Spectacular Spider-Man, which
Spectacular
was cool.
Spider-Man. Yeah, yep.
The
90s
Scarlet Spider was
Spider-Man.
over the top.
Yeah.
Well, that was
Right.
Andy Samberg.
That was
which is
Andy
great.
Samberg doing. That was Andy Samberg doing his Nicolas Cage impression of
Exactly, which was perfect.
It's funny when they were having the scene at the headquarters, and then Ben Riley's just in the back, and he's just flexing his muscles.
He's like, turn over here. Look at the wall over
100%
here.
accurate.
And then when Miguel's calling him, yeah, Dad.
Yeah, Dr. Van Hoot. Not the 90s. Well, was that the 90s animated? Was that?
So
It was the Spidey
animated,
from the Disney XD series.
Yeah,
Or
it
the
was.
Disney series.
They had Spidey Spectacular Spider-Man, so that was before Disney, and they had 67 Spider-Man, which obviously we saw. They had Spider-Man Unlimited. We saw him a few times. From that was their attempt of doing a Batman Beyond, but in Spider-Man version, which I didn't like it at all. So what they didn't do is we really didn't see 90 Spider-Man, but he was lurking in the background. So. And I think they'll put him front and center in the next movie too.
Having the Spider-Man from the PlayStation game was pretty cool.
Yeah,
They were talking about the video games, the Spider-Man from the old Atari game as well.
Yeah, the Green
or the Hive. The Hive, from the Spider-Man: The Amazing Friends. There's an episode called The Hive, which is a character that he's just like he was one of the anomalies.
So no one's mentioned it, yeah, but Donald Glover making the live action appearance of the Prowler. That's like TM said that clip of the guy breaking it down, but the whole reason Miles exists is largely in part due to Donald Glover and that internet campaign to make Donald Glover Spidey years ago. And God, who is it? Who is it that created Miles? Was it Mark?
That was
Millar?
Bendis.
Brian
Bendis.
Bendis.
Yeah, Bendis
Bendis.
saw the campaign and him in the suit, and that's what really inspired him to do the Miles thing. So at this point, he was in the first Tom Holland movie as the Prowler, the Prowler before he gets his costume, and he's voiced the Prowler in the animated stuff, and now he is playing the Prowler.
He voiced Miles too at one time.
Yeah, he voiced Miles in one of the animated features as well.
He definitely voiced him in the animated. And who knows? Maybe that wasn't him as Prowler, his uncle. Maybe he was Prowler as Spider-Man, as Peter. So there was or as Miles. So there was a lot of little crazy things.
See, I wasn't wild about his cameo in the movie. I thought it just looked odd with the animation.
That's another one we didn't really see. We didn't see Japanese Spider-Man.
Right.
Or the Megazord. Little Spider Megazord. Yeah, I thought it looked fine. It didn't really faze me.
Oh, the buggy.
Oh, I love that.
That was cool. Spider buggy.
Spider Buggy's awesome.
So plot-wise, switching over to plot-wise stuff, I thought the plot where they kind of stood it out to be their own, I really loved it. Like the concept of Miguel being like this older, like he's from 2099. He's got he has more like experience based off like knowledge of history than any of these guys do, just being a little bit from the future. But him kind of leading the crusade, I thought that was awesome because he's a more intense Spider-Man, and him not being a Peter Parker kind of takes him out of the paradox to a degree. Like, does he have to have the death of an uncle? Does he have to have all these things that they do? I don't think he does, because he's not Peter. He's not in that same routine. But I thought that was a great aspect, and like finding out that Miles was the first anomaly and how well this was tied back to the first movie. This whole movie, like they retconned the first movie to make this one, like in the first movie, marry perfectly.
Well, they also, the Spot is in the first movie. He's the guy. So Miles throws the bagel, and the guy who gets hit in the head, that's the Spot. So if you go back to the first movie and you see him throw the bagel and the guy gets hit, that's Spot that's getting hit, which I thought that was great. I think, Jason Schwartzman as the Spot at first, he was playing for laughs, but man, towards the end, man, he was scary. Like, I don't even know how they're going to stop him.
Yeah, no, that was one of the things. I hate when they start off with a villain being too comedic. So then I'm like, all right, rolling my eyes. It's a cartoon. But then his arc, the way they made him serious and stuff like that, I was just like, wow.
But he was still funny even throughout, right?
You didn't
Yeah,
laugh when the loaf of bread fell out of him.
Yeah,
I like. Let me rob you already. I never. Let me rob. Let me go ahead and rob you. Okay.
I got the joke when they were doing it with the ATM, then the bread thing and all that other stuff. But I didn't expect him to be the main villain. I thought it was just like, all right, let's introduce this bad guy for laughs. Miles is going to kick his ass. Then the real villain is going to come along. But I appreciated that they made him serious and actually made him the nemesis.
Yeah, one of my big worries going into it was that they're going to character assassinate Miguel O'Hara. Like just based on the trailers, like knowing that he's going to be chasing down Miles and all this and that. I didn't want to see 2099 be turned into an unnecessary bad guy.
Yeah.
So I was glad to see that we actually have a villain. And this was used, the whole length of this first part was his origin being told inside of a separate story. I thought that was a great way to actually structure the story up for him. And I watched it with my 5-year-old, and he's sitting there watching it, and he's like looking at the spot thing and sweating by the end of it. How scary was the spot in Spider-Man? The dude who could teleport, had all the spots on those turning all black.
Oh, Daddy, I playing with my old you know that truck that had the rope.
The truck with the rope, but it broke.
Yeah, and I was playing with that, and I was pretending like that was a Portal Man driving it.
No, the Portal Man was driving it?
And he could make portals out of soap.
Out of soap? Very cool. Knuckles?
And so and it would only leave the water. Oh, and the soap came with it.
That's pretty cool.
Soap turned around, and it got launched, and it moved that way. Boom, boom, boom.
Good job. You heard it here first. The spot was influential enough that he's playing Portal Man in the bath.
There you go.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm
Ultimate version.
I'm gonna play adult Portal Man.
Yeah, so Spot was great. He remained funny even towards the end, but he became more and more, he started understanding his powers a lot better. Even the part when when she was mentioning the rope, when they had him on the rope and he just somehow used the porter to just cut the rope. Yeah. So he just started understanding his powers, but at the same time, his purpose was still the same way. I'm going to ruin you. Which it stood from beginning to end that his whole goal is to ruin Miles.
Yeah.
And it really didn't start that way, to be honest with you. I don't feel like it did. He was casually robbing an ATM, right? And then when he was actually face to face with Miles, he's telling him, "I'm your nemesis," and Miles is not taking him serious. He's just brushing it off. Had Miles taken that man serious in that moment, he might not have been as motivated to go down that dark path that he did. It's that
Yeah, stopped to do it. To microwave an empanada or something first, right before you even took him out. Right?
Yeah, he thought it was a joke. Didn't call him his nemesis at all.
Yeah, that was funny when he microwaved the empanada and stuff like that in the beginning, like that, like not taking him serious. That's why I didn't take him serious, like as part of the audience.
Another one of the big characters they introduced was the Spider-Man of India. We actually spent a fair amount of time in what was it? Mumbattan or something like that.
Yeah, Mohabbat.
Like Manhattan, but Mumbattan.
Yeah,
that's where we were. But Spider-Man from India, I thought was absolutely hilarious. Yeah, he was cool.
Perfect hair.
Yeah, perfect hair.
I dig that actor. It's the same dude that was the cab driver in Deadpool.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Dopinder. Fire, dude. Yeah.
Recognize him right away. No, he was a blast. He was fun.
Yeah, that scene was great, and I was wondering why we were spending so much time there. Then it kind of dawned on me that's what they used to show us, like the first, like we have to have this canon of tragedies in Peter Parker or Spider-Man's lives to give us the suffering that you get that character growth from, that loss in your life that drives and motivates you to not let anyone else feel that way. And I thought that was brilliant. Did they even revisit like Miles, like practicing with Gwen earlier, threading the needle and making the save, and them trying to stop him? And doing the little swerve on us. Like they're not telling Miles not to save him because they're worried about Miles. They all need this guy to die to protect this world. And I thought that was they started really
like they all bought into it, right? They all bought into the whole destiny aspect of it all. And the craziest part is that none of them wanted to share it with Miles because they all knew who Miles technically is, right? They were like, we know Miles is the anomaly. We can't really tell him, so we have to figure out ways to do it to make it work. And it backfired on them.
So to be clear, they're not telling Miles in fear of him creating more anomalies, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because if Miles he knows about the way the universe is structured and how fragile it is, and stepping off the path of destiny can literally destroy your world, like, and he's already a few steps off the path just existing. So that's why they didn't want to tell him. Or
I think they were just more worried that it was just going to cause more risks.
Yeah.
Because when they were doing the explanation, it says every time this cannon's broken, it just continuously breaks things. So pretty much, like you said, it's the same plot thread that we've been going through in the MCU with Loki and all that stuff. It's pretty much the same plot thread, but done through a lens of the Spiderverse.
Mm-hmm.
So, that part I think is the part that is like, we're just playing around with the same concept everybody else is playing with. But I think what's really cool about it is kind of like their approach to how it's going rather than where we are. So where we are, it's like the same story everybody else is doing, but where we want to take it is a different path. And I think that's what made it really, to me, genius.
And there was an aspect of that was like, that's what was kind of very familiar with the No Way Home story, like Doctor Strange tells Peter, like, we have to send them all home. The multiverse is breaking. And Peter's like, but they'll die if they go home. He's like, that's their destiny. Like, you can't mess up destiny. And Peter's like, yes, I can. I'm going to save them. And that's like what Miles said. He's like, you're telling me that my father has to die to save my world. I don't believe you. I'm not going to do it. I thought that was a fantastic moment where Miguel had him pinned down on the train, and Miles was finally like, y'all keep telling me I'm not meant to be here. I think I'm going to do things my way, and just kind of just goes for broke. That was kind of that moment for me in the movie.
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic. I like back on Mumbattan when they pulled the curtain back and then revealed kind of like the twist when they were telling him about the cannons, and then they went back and showed how Gwen was actually trying to stop Miles and not save him. Like, I thought that was really cool. And then how Inspector Singh was supposed to die.
Now, do y'all think that Miguel is going to turn out to be correct?
I think that's the best part. I think nobody's wrong. I think Miguel is right in saying that if you keep doing this because he's doing it from a place of that he's done it, right? He was Miles, right? So he was Miles when he decided to take over the life of a previous version of Miguel, and he destroyed it. So he's experienced what Miles is currently experiencing, and the only thing is now he has an obsession. That's kind of the villain arc, right, to it all. I hope they don't vilify him in the next part, because he was starting to become that obsessed guy where everybody else is like, dude, no.
I've had the right amount of you today.
Yeah. So it's to that point where they're realizing, wait a minute, this, we're Spider-Man. This is how we do things. And
I think Miguel is 100% right. I think that, of course, I think they're going to use plot armor to justify Miles in some way trying to save his dad. But DJ, I think you mentioned it to me when we were done with the show Friday. But you mentioned that you suspect Miles is going to suffer a loss, because I was talking about the emotional beats of this movie are not as strong, and like the literal emotional level of the first movie. This one doesn't try to be that same type of emotion. They're telling a different type of story, but they're possibly doing a sleight of hand, making us worry about Miles's father. But they're building emotional beats up with his mom already, right?
Yeah, no, Rio is going to bite the dust, sir.
She's the one that's going. Yep, I agree. I think she's the one that's going.
Yo, first of all, I thought Rio, I keep saying whatever, Rio, her character was fantastic. It reminded me of conversations that I had with my mom, and that's why probably I relate to this movie more, and I like this movie more. because that's where I'm from, right? So, you know, Puerto Rican heritage, stuff like that, from Brooklyn. So everything that's Brooklyn in there,
The
I'm
movie's
like,
pretty much based on you at this point.
yo, it's crazy. What's funny
You
is,
even have the sneakers.
yo,
You got-
the Myrtle Ave train station, right? So the Myrtle Ave train station.
yeah.
That is the train station where me and Mrs. Links had our first kiss. We were waiting on the platform. And I'm tongued it down right on the platform.
He's watching the movie. He's like, remember?
Yeah.
Remember,
Who
honey?
did that? That was
You know
us.
what's
That
funny
was
because I
us.
just thought about that now.
4-year-old kids watching the movie next to him. Hey, remember when I tongued you down right there?
Hell yeah. No, but I definitely think Rio is going to bite the dust. Like you said, sleight of hand. Everybody's worrying about the dad. And they already planted all these seeds with all these emotional beats and stuff like that. Once you get past that, what else is left for her? It's similar to how Uncle Ben bestowed all the knowledge on Peter Parker, and then when it was that, then he's gone. Like there's no more use for him.
Yeah, we
So-
spent so much time They spent so much time in this movie. There was 2 moments where she's having serious conversations with him, right? And that right there is your sign. That's like you're the
Yo,
one going bye-bye.
Yeah, 100% legit. When she was talking to him on the roof, man, that reminded me of because my mom was like that, right? We would get in trouble, and my dad was just like, "Yo, you got to stay in the house, whatever the case." And then my mom would be like, "You know what? Just go, have to talk, and be like, go ahead, no, I'll take care of him. Don't worry about
So
it."
to tie some of this in real quick, so like with Miguel, with me thinking he's completely right, I think that they did something really smart with at the end of it when Miles is running from all the other Spider characters. He jumps in the little device that sends you back to your Earth. It scans him. It picks up Earth 42, which is where the spider that bit him was from. And when he gets there, we don't know he's not at his home first. We just see him run around. He goes home. He talks to his mother. Then it reveals that he's not on his Earth. And that conversation with his mom, I want to talk about in just a second here.
Yeah.
But I think the existence of this Earth in the state that it's in, we see that there was never a Spider-Man. Miles's father's already dead in this universe. Miles is the Prowler, and his uncle is pretty much his right-hand man, and that was where the big
Guy in
cheese
the
that
chair.
was up there. Miles.
But
off
you
with
knew as
Miles.
soon as you saw the third person on the roof, you knew that had to be Miles.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was predictable as hell. But I think just like there was never a Spider-Man in this universe because it bit Miles over here.
Yeah.
You know, like it kind of verifies what Miguel's saying. Is it the only way that Miguel's doing? Possibly not. Is it
But
the
it also-
right way? It's
but
a
also-
right way.
But there's also something that we haven't even said. That there's no Spider-Man in this universe. Does that mean there's no Peter Parker?
No, Peter's there. He just never got bit by a
He
spider.
never got bit. No.
So will we get a Peter Parker without the bite in this movie? Will he show up in this movie?
Just like in Flashpoint, if he does, I don't care.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and I think those are the little things, and they did mention the Sinister Six. So there was a news report, and it says the Sinister Six because this world's corrupt. This is pretty much the dark universe, just like in Crisis of Infinite.
I like
Earth,
how
where
there's
they go
no
to the
other heroes at all in any of these universes.
Yeah, because Spider-Man's the one guy that changes everything, right?
Spider-Man's, yeah. It's kind of like again in No Way Home when Tom tells Toby and Andrew, "I don't want to brag, but I'm an Avenger." That's so cool. You're in a band? it was just them in their universes. But that conversation with his mom, I think, is one of those emotional beats. And DJ, you were the one that mentioned this to me. Like, we get this long drawn out ending to this movie. This movie would not end for the life of it. It would not end. The post third act moment of this movie went on for an eternity for me. And one of those moments is Miles face to face with his mom, not knowing it's not his Earth, comes clean to her about being Spider-Man. A big build-up, unzips a jacket, shows her I'm Spider-Man. She's like, "Cool, who's that? Are you going to a comic convention? What is this?"
Comics,
But it was a-
Comics
it
Con.
was a-
Comics
and it was a
Con.
wrong moment. I told DJ that like I didn't like that because it cheapens when he actually does tell her. He's already got the bravery to do it. He's afraid of nothing, like he said, and then he's done it already. Now, when he actually tells his mom, it's going to cheapen it. And DJ told me something that actually hit. Like, oh my God, what if that's the case?
He's not going to get the chance to tell her.
Yeah, that's going to be rough, man.
But she's gonna find out when she dies.
Which and
When
he's
she
not going to be able to save her. And I
She's
think
his Captain Stacy.
Yes, 1000%.
Like,
Yes.
because remember, isn't that when Captain Stacy in the comics found out Peter was Spider-Man? And it was during his death.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, if it goes out like that, that's going to be rough.
That's exactly. I'm almost certain that's how it's going to happen. So we just got a couple of months, man. A couple of months until we know that. When did you guys realize he was in a different universe? Because I realized it in one specific scene.
I didn't. So I don't know if it was like whatever. I was twitching in my chair or stuffing popcorn in my mouth, but I didn't. It was a surprise to me.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, when you're talking about when you knew he was going to Earth 42?
Yeah. When did you find out he was a different? So you caught it when the scan came through and it said Earth.
It scanned him. It said 42.
Okay.
What it is I had an argument. I'm sorry. I had a debate with somebody a couple of days ago that Miles in these movies is the ultimate universe Miles. They're like, no, that's not confirmed. So at the very beginning of this movie, after the intro, we get to Miles and it says Earth 6160. That's the ultimate universe. I'm like, I watched this stuff like a hawk. So as soon as it scanned him and said 42, I'm like, here we go.
Yeah. Paul, when did you recognize that he was in a different universe?
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I think when I first saw his uncle. So.
I caught it. I don't know if you caught this, but I caught it when I saw her eyes. She had green eyes.
Oh wow.
So, and another thing
that was interesting. It was Nick that caught that, wasn't it? The green eyes thing.
So she had green eyes, and Miles, when he went to put the bomber jacket on, I don't know if you caught that. The bomber jacket was green, and he had a purple hoodie.
Purple hoodie, yeah, it looked like the Prowler.
So he had the colors of the Prowler, who happens to have the same colors as Green Goblin. Go figure. And that's when it was like, something's up because her eyes are different. She mentioned the braids.
The braids are gone.
Right? The braids was like a giveaway. I was like, uh-oh. You know what I mean? Like, no, he went to the wrong place.
She just said, oh, your hair is different. And Uncle Aaron was just like, oh, you took your braids out.
Yeah. And Uncle Aaron knew it too. He's like, that's not the same guy.
You took your braids out.
Yo, man, you took your braids out.
Yeah, he was ruthless. Like, I thought it was kind of ironic too that what they do with Miles when they find this alternate Earth Miles on Earth 42 is the exact same thing Miles did to Peter B. Parker in the first movie, tying him to the punching bag.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was I love the way it ended too, because Peter B. Parker did the little swerve to get out, and Miles is sitting there charged up with his finger on the bag, just ready to go.
That's pretty much how they ended it. Him ready to charge it. Man, but when he did that punch, when he put the glove on, he punched the wall away.
I thought he killed him. I was like, it looked like he blew his head off. Yeah.
Yo, exactly. I was just like, this is still a kids movie.
Yeah, this is definitely a rewatchable as hell movie. The first one is. Me and the kids rewatched the first one last Thursday evening.
I can't even tell you how many times I've rewatched that movie.
Yeah, I tried to watch the first one the other day and I shut it off like 45 minutes in.
Yeah,
Not even.
my girls love that movie. It's their favorite movie.
So when it came out, Monkey wasn't born. Finn was tiny or not born. I don't think he was born yet. I don't know. You'd have to ask my wife about ages and dates of children, but he was too little to really watch it. So I've watched it a couple times with him getting bigger, and he watches it, just never really catches his attention. He woke up from like a late afternoon nap, and it was probably like 20, 30 minutes in, and he just sat there like glued to the TV this last time. So he was really excited for this one. And also, like, he has Spider-Man and Miles Jang posters on his wall that John gave him when we met him, so he's more than aware of who Miles is and Spider-Man. He's got Miles toys from this past year at Free Comic Book Day. They had a couple. He got a Miles, and Monkey got a a Spider-Gwen. So they both are getting more familiar with the Spider-Verse characters. They've only just really known the classic Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. That's what's in all the cartoons that they watch, or that's the star of all the cartoons they watch and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for me, I've always been classic Spider-Man and stuff like that. So even with the whole, like, I've never read Ultimate Fallout 4. Like, I never bought into that. So even with the movie, the first movie, I've always been like, yeah, it's cool. This one made me a Miles fan.
Yeah, like, Miles is only previewed in Ultimate Fallout 4.
Whatever the case is. But this one made me a Miles fan. And I was just like, yo, I am completely on board going forward. I just thought the storytelling and everything in this movie was absolutely fantastic. It was top tier.
It really was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just want to talk more about Spider-Punk for a second.
Oh, we haven't even
'Cause
touched on him
he's
yet.
my favorite character in this whole movie. Spider-Punk's my favorite, hands down.
What's his name?
Hobie.
I just know his
Brown.
name is Louis. Louis is my Spider-Punk.
Freaky. Oh yeah, Louis. Wow.
Y'all see where he posted the picture like dead shit in the middle of the movie? That Joker stood up in full gear with a guitar and got someone to take a picture of him in the theater in the middle of the movie.
I would have gotten scared if I saw him do that.
I would have thrown something.
Yeah, really.
I would have been like, yo, what the hell? Sit the fuck down!
Yeah.
Somebody was answering a phone call in one of my screenings, and I'm like, she's like, "Hello, I'm watching the movies." Yeah, shut up.
Wow. Yo, this dude goes, and now this is like a crazy tangent. So I'm sitting down. This dude goes to the bathroom towards the ending, comes back, but he's in the row in the front instead of in our row. So instead of getting out that row and coming into the row, he decides to climb over the chairs. He wasn't physically fit. So it's just like, and it's because of use distraction. So he's like climbing over the chairs, making mad noise, and it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. And everybody, you just saw heard the
Big shout out and hello to Aggressively Relaxing. Flo said, I was a tad frustrated because this is the second movie in 2 weeks I saw that ended on a wild cliffhanger. And Aggressive, of course, agrees with him. Yeah, I'm with you, Flo. I'm also just so curious to see what Ariel and Eric do next.
what was the first one?
So my Kyle and Monkey went and saw Little Mermaid. Me and Finn
Was
saw
it
this.
Flash
and they both
X?
loved it.
Flash X was the
Yeah,
cliffhanger.
Flash X. Yeah.
We
I don't
actually
watch
were
the
talking about this.
Fast movies, but I already knew it.
We were talking
I
about this
didn't
before we came on. Was there were a lot of people who either did not know this was a two-part movie or really did not want the movie to end, because when it said to be continued, there were people that were pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you say was happening in your showing, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, there was like people that were just screaming at the screen when it said to be continued and swearing. It was like, wow, you either need to read up on this thing a little bit ahead of time, or I don't think a lot of people knew that they were committing to two movies.
That's the crazy thing, because when the teaser came out, the teaser didn't call it Across the Spider-Verse yet. It called it Part 1, right? So it was announced that it was going to be a two-parter, but then they kind of threw that out the window and just called it Across the Spider-Verse.
The next
right?
one is Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And I could understand that, because you know what? People did forget. Like, at first I forgot watching the movie, and then when I saw it was to be continued, I was like, oh yeah, it's a Part 1.
Yeah.
Right? So I did forget about it. And I could understand why people were upset about it, but
I think it was smart marketing, though. I think it'll only help the movie in the long run, help the franchise in the long run. And I hope to God that Sony just keeps their stuff together when it comes to these movies and continue to make money and keep some of these properties from being like monopolized by Disney until Disney can get their shit together.
Well, they got to make some good live action stuff.
Yeah, I'm hoping Craven is awesome. I don't think it will be. I don't see why it should be, but Aaron Taylor Johnson's a fantastic actor. And apparently what people saw from that trailer at CinemaCon, they were actually like, yo, is this for real?
Yeah.
Because you can watch the trailer for Morbius 2 years ago and say, yo, this is going to be late.
There was a Mobius reference in the movie.
There should be.
No, in Spider-Verse, there was a Mobius reference.
Mobius or Morbius?
Or whatever. It doesn't matter anymore.
No.
No, Morbius. There was a reference to him in the movie. So there was like, hey, a vampire everybody loves, ha! And that was kind of like the
like
line on the movie.
You sure they weren't talking about Miguel?
No, it was talking about Miguel, but of course it was a meta joke on the movie.
Gotcha.
So I was like, oh, they didn't. They went there. But that's the problem. That's my problem. I'm sorry, but that's my problem with the Sony pictures. Is like they have this specific franchise, the Spider-Verse franchise, right? They got this nailed, and that's to the credit of Lord and Miller, right? These guys are great, right? So they got this nailed, but they can't get anything else nailed, which is a problem for me. I'm not looking forward to Craven. Once it comes out, even if the trailer looks great, I'm still gonna watch it. But if that movie stinks, that's it. I'm done with Sony Pictures doing movies because they haven't done any good movies with the exception of this.
That's super true. That's how I feel about other properties. Anything that Kathleen Kennedy touches, the Star Wars stuff, the MCU stuff. For me personally, in my taste, I've just been let down enough to not really care to feel excited or invested in them anymore.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to see, like, Stan Lee was like one of the biggest people of wanting to see these properties picked up and done by other people and give, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't want to see it all under one umbrella.
It's just nice to know that we're in any universe. J.K. Simmons is still J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. He's like, it's the same guy everywhere, which is awesome. I thought that was great. I liked when they went to the Venom universe and he was just talking to the lady. That was a cool little trick they did there. Of course, when we got to see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in their little scenes, obviously it's regurgitated scenes from the previous movies, but still it was cool to see it there. Like they're acknowledging that this universe exists in this world we created. So that was pretty cool.
Going back to the audience being mad, like the audience wasn't mad about the ending on a cliffhanger. I think that mid-credit scene that there was nothing there other than the title of the next movie.
Miles will be back.
Yeah, that's when you heard like the audible snickers throughout, and people just got up pissed.
They pulled the MCU moment by saying Miles Morales will be back. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah,
Sony's was riding the gravy train right now with this. Sony has no intention of making a live action Spider-Man while they can let some other producer do 100% of the work, film it, and then just give them their paycheck.
Mm-hmm. And I think too with the animation, you just have more to play with, man. You can be more creative.
Yeah, it's the same way with like the DC stuff. Like, there's not going to be like a string of DC movies that top the string of DC animated films we have.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I think with anime, people talk so highly of anime, like the storytelling and the action sequences. I mean, animation is just, like you said, you just have so much creative freedom with it, especially if you have good AI.
I doubt it was AI that did this.
I can't imagine having someone draw all these frames with all these things twisting and turning constantly and the styles changing and blurring this. Like, that's in my mind outrageous to think of.
No, I'm pretty sure
with upcoming Turtles.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they're able to do that. Obviously, it's digital, but it's not like AI doing it. They're doing it themselves.
I think they feed it into a program.
Yeah,
I think they character design these things and feed it into a generic program, just like you would if you were like CGing for a live action film.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be moving for a minute, so I'm gonna be unmuted for a little bit. Okay.
You going rat hunting?
Yeah. Sure. I'm gonna go get
this movie. This movie had
that
less than $100 million budget. This Across the Spider-Verse movie, what did it have, like 80 or something?
Made 120 million this weekend.
Yeah, this movie's gonna just demolish at the box office.
Yeah, I was super surprised when I found out that it was $100 million budget.
It made 209 million worldwide.
Wow.
That's the unofficial announcement right now.
And I think it'll even make more than that once the news of, let's say, like the Spider-Man in India, once news of that gets out, I'm pretty sure people are going to want to go see that. Hobie, things like that. So that's cool.
And just like, word of mouth still is a thing. I mean, look what Top Gun Maverick did.
Yeah.
Like if your product is legitimately good and not just like how, especially people like that are fans of properties or companies like myself, with like how I get excited for the stuff that I love when it's beyond that, when it's legitimately good unanimously, and people are like, you've got to see it. People don't want to wait. They don't want to be the last one to know, and they'll go and see it. And if the word of mouth carries, I think this movie can do tremendous things. I think the animation, though, is going to be a big hindrance for its overall gross. Because some people it doesn't matter how good something is. Some people don't give a shit. It's a cartoon. That's just not their thing.
But I think, it's summer has the unofficial start of summer. This will be, I'm taking the kids to go see Spider-Man for the 4th time because they loved it so much.
Yeah,
it really is. it's because it's animated. Kids are gonna go. Parents are gonna take kids. I think I'm interested to see how it battles against Transformers. To be completely honest, I don't know because Transformers has a track record that a lot of people don't like.
No,
But-
I wasn't saying anything about Transformers. I'm pro Transformers to
so same
ridiculous
here.
degree.
I want to see.
I just looked it up. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the first Miles Morales, has a total worldwide box office gross of only $384.3 million. That's an
money next week.
That's an opening weekend for a successful live action movie. Like I didn't realize comparatively it was still that low. Like the budget on that one was less than the budget on the second one.
It was like 80 million on the
I believe
budget.
it was around 80. It's the same thing they made Venom for.
Yeah.
The first Venom was 80. Tell that to
still,
Mario.
It's still animation, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, it's still animation. So animation is still less as far as graphics goes and the stuff that they have to do because in this world, they're making it as they go. Live action animation or live action graphics is a little harder because it has to feel real. Yeah, there was moments in this movie that does actually look like it's live action. There's some parts of it.
Yeah, it's hard to compare this, even though it's an animated film, it's still hard to compare this to like Mario or the Minions or Lightyear. This isn't the same genre. Like animation isn't animation. Like, I mean, you still have naive parents out there. It's not a PG rated movie either. It's
it's PG-13, isn't it?
I believe so.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Well, they dropped some lines, man. They were in coy about things they were saying. They threw some Spanish cussing in there too. You know what I mean? That was one thing I really liked, the fact that they felt like a natural Spanish family. Mm-hmm. When his mom was talking to him and stuff like that.
They gave it a PG rating.
It got a PG?
Was that Spanglish?
Yeah, it was Spanglish.
The Spanglish. And then to that point, when
my mom talked to me like that, man. That's how we talked.
Yeah, when the mother found out that he got like a B or whatever it was in Spanish class, and that's what pissed her off.
And you saw when she snapped the fingers with like a Puerto Rican flag?
Yeah. That's why I connect so much with this movie because I feel like instead of getting bitten by a spider, I got bit by a rabies rat.
Aggressive said, I'm glad it was successful, and I love the art. We can talk about that nasty ass red burger they have at Burger King now for this movie with the.
There was a burger in this movie.
Burger was in the movie. Yeah, it was in the movie at the Hall of Spider-Man. I saw it.
Yeah. Oh, it was. I would never eat a red bun burger. There
was a Miguel burger. There was a Miguel burger, a $20.99 burger.
Pass.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. The cartoons that kids like, but parents also really like is Gold Dust. They will clean up.
That is true.
What's the highest gross animated film? Is it like one of those?
The Lion King.
Frozen? It's Lion King. I know which one you're talking about. The live action. They're considering that an animated movie.
No. The animated one is still. I think if you adjust it for the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Lion King, Frozen 2.
Right.
Frozen 2, and I think Mario's now 3.
Mario's number 3. Yep.
God dang, it's a New
I was
York.
just looking at it today.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me, Mario.
But that movie's just gonna keep making money.
I hated the Frozen.
I'm kind of curious where if this first Spider-Verse is on there.
No.
The first Spider-Verse isn't even in the top 50.
Nope.
That's crazy.
Because that movie started getting traction after the fact.
Top 5 is like they just said, Lion King, then Frozen, then the Super Mario. Is that what you said? Mario Brothers.
Super Mario.
Then the first Frozen, then Incredibles 2, and then Minions, Toy Story 4, 3, Despicable Me 3, Finding Dory. That's your top 10.
Nah. Wow, Finding Nemo isn't up there?
No, it's because of the sequels. The sequels always end up making a little more money.
Yeah, Shrek 2 comes before Shrek.
Mm-hmm.
Golly, Up is number 27.
How would you rank this amongst sequels? Because sequels always either hit or miss. Like
this was a
Terminator
hit.
2 is
the GOAT, the greatest action movie of all time. But next topic.
You see, part 2s are usually good, right? The way I look at it, part 2s. I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying
Most
all
of
of
them
them,
weren't.
but I'm not saying. But a lot of part 2s always, Empire Strikes Back. You got
Spider-Man
Superman
2,
2,
Superman
Spider-Man
2,
2, X-Men 2.
Godfather Part 2,
Star Trek 2.
Yeah.
The
So
Wrath of
those
Khan.
the second part is usually a
Willard
good
2.
movie, right?
You don't need to do all that exposition, all the introduction and everything. You can actually get right into the story.
Right into it.
Exactly, and you're not cramming it, right? You're
Right.
still giving us a little bit without cramming too much. It's the part 3s that are the ones that are hard to do, right?
Mhm.
To the point that even X-Men made fun of it, like, oh yeah, everybody knows the third one's the worst. That's when it's hard. That's why to John
Jesus
Wick's
Christ,
credit, that's why John Wick is awesome.
Yo.
Going back to that,
John
it just
Wick.
kept getting bigger and bigger and better. So
We'll see how Spider-Verse does, because Jonathan here, shout out to him, local guy. What's going on? He said the first Spider-Verse did 35 opening weekend. The second one did 120. Now, the first one did 35 opening, but had a great run overall. A lot of those people who eventually saw it on the front end. So it's going to be up to people, in my opinion, it's going to be up to people like Izzy, who went back to see it a second time, or how I do that with other movies. Like I really enjoyed, like I saw Avatar a handful of times with different family members. I saw Black Adam one time, and then I took the kids to see it because I knew they could see it. I'll end up doing that with The Flash. Finn really wants to see it, but I need to watch it first, and know when I need to earmuff him at the end of the movie, stuff like that. Because
I think, and I think with Spider-Verse, this one, it's going to have it because it is one of those movies that when you you got to watch it again. It's like you watch this movie, you got to watch it again. You know what I mean?
Home. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's too many other things
that,
coming
right?
out.
But then there's those like me that was like, we immediately was like, yo, we got to see this again, and we just said, let's just go, and we went today. We made the decision yesterday. Like, one of our friends, she was like, I haven't seen it. I was like, okay, that's it, let's go. You know what I mean? That was our excuse to go. Like, she didn't see it, so I'm not going back to see it a third time. I'm just because, like we said, there's a lot of movies this month.
Yeah, and we always go see a movie on vacation. Like, like we spend one day, we drive down to Florida, and then one day on vacation, because there's a small cinema on the island, and we always go to see a movie. Like the year before last, last year we saw the new Minions movie. The year before that, we saw a Spider-Man movie or something. So depending on what's out, then we'll end up seeing something. Who knows? Because we'll have the kids with us, it'd probably be something like this. Mm-hmm. Or maybe that's when I take the kids to watch Flash for the first time. Mm-hmm. What are you looking for, little boy?
Yeah, I'd be interested in numbers next weekend versus Transformers. Like, I'm not a Transformers fan. I'm probably going to go see it only to engage in the conversation, but I have zero excitement for that Transformers.
That's the best way to go into a movie. That's how this one just blew you away. Yeah. But I think that's why I enjoyed Morbius.
I still haven't seen Morbius. I actually bought it on Blu-ray.
By the time you watch it, you're gonna love it. I'm not even lying. And it's that bad. Like I heard everybody just dogged this movie. It became a joke on the internet, and then it just gets dropped on Netflix without any announcement. I just turn it on one day, and it's like you're watching a 2006 sci-fi action movie. I'm like, yeah, this is so enjoyable. So enjoyable. Especially a Transformers movie.
Well, I think Transformers, what it has going for it is the fact that it's going to try to connect the G1 with the Beast machines as well. Which
Save it.
What?
Next Sunday is the Transformers Rise of the Beast show. Because, I've got my tickets. That'll be the spoiler show for that. We're already an hour in, and I don't want to beat a dead horse here. Y'all got anything else y'all want to hit on the Spider-Verse movie?
No. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Yeah, definitely go watch it, man.
Absolutely. Definitely worth it.
I would have a conversation with someone who works at the theater when you go, because at this point it is 100% confirmed that based on your theater and their audio setup, you could have some honest to God issues with the audio. There was minor issues at ours. I've heard different people having different experiences.
I heard about that too.
Like the same thing that we were talking about, DJ, how I said it sounded like one of the speakers were not in sync for Gwen's conversation at the start of the movie. That kind of caught my attention. And then after a few minutes, it seemed like it was gone. And then like Spider-Punk's voice and some of during the action sequences, I couldn't make people out, was literally the exact same description that Dan dropped on his video today. Is he?
Gotcha.
So I saw that. He saw it at two different theaters and said that one, he had no problems and one he did.
Like
So,
I
I
had
had the same.
the first
I had
time.
the same problem. The very beginning, it almost like the music felt that it was drowning out.
Yeah,
Gwen
I didn't have the
Stacy's
problem
dialogue.
either or. The first time I saw it, it was fine. It was normal. Today it was extremely loud. So they must have pumped up the volume
they
or
got the
something in the
memo.
theater.
Because that's
So-
what the studio put out a tweet saying, if you want a fun adventure when you go see the movie, ask the staff to turn the volume all the way up.
Right.
Oh, they
They
did.
said-
They
They
definitely
said
did.
turn it from a 7 to a 7.5. They said.
No, it was like in our case, it was more like an 11, man. That's how we felt at first.
We didn't have any
Damn,
issues.
we like the trailers were like super loud. So I was like, what the hell, man? This is extremely loud. It was hurting my eardrums how loud it was. And I was not in an
the
IMAX
newbie
theater.
was like yelling. Yeah, we didn't have any issues whatsoever
Yeah.
with our stuff.
That's really good.
Yeah. Then again, and we're not in Kansas, so
Now, you mentioned something in your show, the music. The music was pretty good. I was listening. It wasn't as iconic as the first movie, but the music was good in this one.
dude,
had
I
some good-
love the music, man.
Somebody was talking about the music. I know that much, but it really.
Because they didn't have like a sunflower.
No, they didn't have a song. They tried. They
No,
tried.
that-
But
Did they try? Did they?
they had a song like it, but it was nowhere near Sunflower. But they had a few songs. I think the best song was when Aaron put the record player on to kind of like
Love in the Heart of the City.
yeah, that was good.
Nah,
That
but
was-
even some of the newer stuff, the Metro Boomin stuff, when Mouse snuck in the window, there was like it was more somber.
Yeah,
All the stuff
mellow,
was-
a little melancholy, as they would say.
Yo, there ain't no love. When Rakim, Guess Who's Back was on, I
Yep.
was just like, what? I
So,
love music, man. I'd
Yep.
rather have all the music be good than just have one great song. Because all we remember is Sunflower from the first one.
Yeah. Well,
There was a little bit of Biggie in the first one, if you remember.
Oh, Hypnotize, yeah.
yeah. To Aggressive's point, realistic. You're supposed to hear a bunch of people wearing masks. I don't think that was the case. I think this is an audio mixing issue. It's like Christopher Nolan does that. He tries to use audio like a tool, and he's done it to a fault. Like he kept playing with it from Bane's Mask all the way to Tenet, with it being an issue. Yeah, he's kind of dialed back on that. I don't think that they were going for that. I think they just had audio mixing issues. But especially by the time it releases at home, that won't even be an issue anymore.
You just hire Samuel L. Jackson to do the lines in every movie.
Yeah.
What? Say what? One more time.
Sick and tired of these mother effing interdimensional radioactive spiders. Why
All right, so
man?
I'm going to refresh this channel membership thing one more time. We're all set to go. I'll show first off, I appreciate y'all jumping on to chit chat about this. And y'all anything else y'all want to touch on about to do this Legion giveaway?
Spider-Punk, man. That's what I care about. Spider-Punk. Spider-Punk was the smartest character in the whole movie.
Yeah, he left.
He knew everything that was going on already.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was coming in, and I don't know if you noticed it, he was stealing stuff. He was just taking stuff to make the little bracelet thing that they were doing, the little iPhone. That's how he was able to do it. And so he was watching Gwen the whole time. He knew what they were gonna do. He was just there watching out for her, which I thought was brilliant on their part, making Spider-Punk this guy like he's an anarchist. He's not supposed to be part of the establishment, and everything was like, yeah, but no.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was like, nah, I'm doing this. And then once it finally happened, he's like, okay, I'm out. And he just bounced.
Yeah, I also love that he was kind of like that 2D, almost like a paper cutout, similar to
Yeah, they made him look like
Da Vinci
the
Volta
Sex
was.
Pistols.
Yeah, that shit was dope, man.
That was awesome, man. He was by far my favorite character. I just like it when he took his mask off and they said, how can you look still cool, so cool?
Yeah, I can't recommend this movie. I wish we had a contrary opinion to this just to see how other people think about it that don't like it.
To that point, Remy was busy and Beckerman hated it. And he's lurking he's been lurking in the chat. But he said he didn't want to have it out tonight.
Well, there's people out there that don't like Dark Knight, so
Yeah, we call them dumb. I'm just teasing.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you guys. I think it's good. I don't think it's better than the first one. I think by the time the third one comes out, it has the potential to, I don't know, because at that point it was be one movie, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I love this movie.
I'll be rewatching it. I'll be buying it on digital when it comes out, all that stuff.
I'm gonna listen.
I'll have
to
my
this.
Blu-ray copy because digital. I can't trust digital media, especially with something from Sony. I'm gonna have to have physical, no matter what.
I still get physical.
I get physical on stuff that I want in my PC. I bought the first one on digital because I didn't see the first one in theaters. And when it came out, it was, stuff's available to buy digital at home before they put it in a store because they think they make more money that way. They don't, which they're learning finally. But so when it releases on digital, I'll probably end up buying it just to rewatch it at that point. And the day that I lose my digital library across the Spiderverse, I'll go buy a $5 high definition copy at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When it comes to all my movies, I got my physical media. I don't trust them. That's what happens right now with Max and all these other streamers. They're already getting rid of stuff. So I want to have my movie.
Recycle stuff. Dude, Max is
that's the point. I want to have them.
Max is on fire. All the movies that I want in my collection, I have in my collection.
Yeah.
I don't have to have Across the Spider-Verse in my collection. But dude, Max is on fire since they've expanded. When they did that merger, I've been watching all kinds of crazy stuff on there now. Like been watching Mountain Monster. What is it called?
Monster Hunters.
Monster Hunters or Mountain Monster Hunters or something like that. Dude, me and the kids, they just crawl up on the couch next to me. Like, the show's ridiculous if you're an adult, but if you're a kid, I didn't even think about that. Like, this is scary as hell because these are grown-ups running around the woods looking like kids trust adults. You know,
When they put the night vision and the EKG.
They're like covering their faces and stuff. Huckleberry, get over here! Like, my kids, like,
Yeah,
amazing. It wasn't good. Of course, I like The Dark Knight. I gave all my acting prowess to that movie. It wasn't great. It was just good.
Oh, so you didn't hate the movie?
No. I was just saying that to go.
Okay.
I'd like to hear a Beckerman review, maybe on the channel, Beck, if you want to do that, because I appreciate your point of view. Like, you give you don't just say, "Hey, that shit sucks," because like you go in depth, and I appreciate your perspective.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so y'all want to run this giveaway for the Legion loot?
Yes, sir. Just
Go
send it
for
to me.
So real quick, I'll show it off real quick. For those that don't know, there is a channel membership here. I appreciate everybody who hits a thumbs up and subscribes to the channel. If you want to support the channel beyond that, there's a join button down below, and that's for a monthly membership program. There's 2 tiers. There's a supporting tier, and then there's the Legion tier. And if you join the Legion tier, it adds your name into this monthly giveaway, as well as early access to videos and all kinds of stuff. It tells you in there. You can click the button and see what it says without committing to it. So feel free to click that anytime. And Big Time Collectibles is one of the sponsors of the channel, and they send books to the channel for me to pass back out to spread the love like butt cheeks. And we have some of those books in here every month. And this month we have that Miko Suyon Deadly Duo issue 1, that black and white version.
Fire.
Spider-Man #1 Felipe Massafara. As you know, Spiderverse. Yeah, there you go, Izzy. It's got Spider-Punk on it.
Yeah, connecting cover.
Super
It's got
fire.
Spider-Ham, Cosmic Spider. Who's that?
Yeah, that's
Arachnia?
I don't know.
No,
I know
think that's
Cosmic
the name, right?
Spider-Man. I don't remember.
Who's that lady?
Arachnia?
I think it is Arachnia.
Yeah. Got Arachnia. Miko Suyon Predator #1. That is
That's
a
That's
gorgeous
nice.
cover. Nailed it. And then Miko's Batman 125 with the Joker in the reflection there. There's also one with Bane in it as well. So collect the whole set. And then Legal Burning, if you don't know who he is, he's a phenomenal artist who literally hand burns with a wood burning tool covers. He sends pieces to throw in there as well. We have that Star Wars Darth Vader with Vader and the Emperor on there. And of course, we got the Obi-Wan to go with it.
Obi-Wan.
And then he's been active in the chat. Hopefully he's still here. Hailing from the Spiral Dimension, Dr. Von Hoot got together with a handful of people and produced a cover. And it's, God, I can't ever see this. Not tested on animals.
On animals, yep.
Oh, it looks easier to see on the screen. So there's a Dr. Von Hoot one. And he sent stickers, bookmarks, tattoos with this. So I bought multiples. And I'm going to keep the stickers, bookmarks, and tattoos. So you get the full Hoot experience. Full Hoot experience. So we got that there. And then I threw in a couple of books with the X-Men #1 reprint from here recently. Because it's coming, I should have probably held this one back for a little bit, but I got the Secret Invasion #1, the Scotty Young.
Fire.
We've got Liam Sharp's Starhenge, book 1, The Dragon and the Boar. This was so damn good.
I remember when that first came out, I was like, oh, man, this is so good looking.
This was an amazing story. Like, the story is only beaten by how beautiful the art experience is in this. It has to be checked out. So I ended up ordering multiple, planning on putting them in Legion Loots for the next couple of months. So hopefully if you win, you don't have a copy already. And if you do, you pay it forward to someone who doesn't. And then we have Marvel Spotlight on Star-Lord, issue #6. This is the first appearance of Star-Lord in comic book format. He did first appear in magazine. I think it was Marvel Preview, something like that. Or
Marvel, it's like a Marvel premiere.
Marvel Preview #7 or something like that, I think.
7,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
So
big
there's the first Star-Lord in standard comic format. And then we have
epic
the
comic,
Avengers,
epic.
The Avengers 257, the first appearance of Nebula.
Jesus
So
Christ.
a couple of Guardian stuff in there because Guardians came out recently. And then for the slab, we have from 1974, Len Wein's on the story. And it's the, I believe it's the final Len Wein story for the title. It's Swamp Thing, issue #13, and in a CGC 8.0. So we got a nice high-grade copy of like a 50-year-old.
Nice cover, too.
Hell yeah, it is.
Look at that thing.
This is a crazy giveaway, dude.
Is that a Bernie Wrightson cover?
That is a Nestor Redondo cover.
Shout out to Nestor.
Nestor Redondo. Is the artist still alive? Guess that key. For those that don't know, guess that key. The
They have a green character.
His side of the Mississippi. We'll be back Wednesday night at 9:30, Sector 2815 on YouTube. So that is going to one lucky winner tonight. I have no clue what the value of that is.
And Mr. Beckerman will be on, and we'll be asking him what his opinion was of Across the Spider-Verse.
$1 million.
Mm-hmm. Beckerman wants to trade a Legion loot in for a prize box curated by DJ Links, the king of channel giveaways.
Oh, stop it, Becker.
So if you win, Becker, I promise I'll adjust it to be modern variants for you. Becker just pretty much wants Matina covers and modern variants.
And what's the other guy's name? Land.
This is a Spider-Verse 2 giveaway.
Greg Land.
Yeah.
He's a big Greg Land fan.
Oh, I met him this weekend.
First.
Greg Land was in the show last week.
That's how I learned to draw, by the way.
And his top three are definitely Matina, Land, and Sudan. Arthur Sudan.
Who's his favorite character?
I'm pretty sure Penance.
Oh shit.
An Inkwell.
So if you can find Matina cover art doing Penance, A-OK that bad boy to Becker, or at least tag him in it on Instagram. He'd be appreciative either way. So there's the giveaway wheel of names, all that stuff. We got everybody on there. So I'm going to shuffle this until Paul tells me to stop.
Stop!
And we have stop. So good luck to everybody. Thank you again. Be sure to hit that join button and get in on the action. The next one I've already got the stuff for it, but I'm going to wait to share it because I might change it up a little bit. Try to theme it.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to hold off on sharing the links box. I want to do some shopping at Heroes.
That's this month. That's right. Yeah. Well, just because we have like Transformers coming out this month, we have Flash coming out this month. Like how I have like the Guardian stuff in here and the Spider-Verse book in here. I try to theme it to stuff that's exciting for people right now. You know, like Izzy hasn't gone soft since the first time you watched Spider-Verse. If he wins this book, it'll mean more than if I give it away in December. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, of course.
Yeah.
You
got a 5% coupon while you're at it. Look at that.
In celebration of Flash, I'm gonna include a trench coat in.
Perfect. Here we go. The winner of the what this is May. The May Legion loot goes to
DJ Links.
Papa Wheelie. Boom.
Nice.
Big shout out to Papa Wheelie. If y'all don't know, he has a channel here on the YouTubes. He runs a lot of sales and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So be sure to check him out. Give him a follow.
He's always on Biggie Shaq's channel as well. The Combat Club.
Mm-hmm. So boom, huge congrats to Papa. All right, let me put a sticky note on that.
Should I go see Transformers on Thursday, or should I just go see Spiderverse again?
You should. I say you should live in the moment and go see Transformers.
How about do a double showing?
There you go.
Oh, I'm too old for that.
Yeah, go to a drive-in theater or something like that. They do that all the time.
Oh no, I can't go to a drive-in theater because every time I go, I get frisky.
and he only does that at train stations.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's gonna give away. He's gonna have a flash giveaway.
That's a true story. 1,000% true story. Myrtle Ave, Myrtle and Broadway, the train platform right underneath the Metro Center. That's what's up, man. You don't want to go over there in the nighttime, though.
All right, got that. Boom. All right, smallest week. There's really no comic news that I know of.
Yeah.
My brain's been fried. This was the smallest release week for comics that I've had all year long. I picked up 3 new books. I got the finale to Punisher, Detective Comics, and a Rocketeer issue. And I've only read one of those 3 books this week, which was the Punisher. I don't know if you guys want to say. I'm not going to hold y'all hostage. We're probably going to be on for a few more minutes, just talking a couple books.
Yeah,
and then
no,
we'll
I
make like
just
the
picked up.
bananas.
I haven't really read anything. I've been busy.
yeah,
Yeah, that's how I
haven't
mean.
read anything either.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you guys hopping on.
I did get the. I did get Flash. I do have the new Flash.
That comes out Tuesday.
Yeah, I got a copy.
Have you read it yet?
No, I just got it today. So
That's my blind pick of the week going into the week.
oh man, there's a foil cover. It's not the foil from Big Time, but there's a foil lightning bolt cover.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Francis Manipool, right? I think.
Yeah. And I love Francis Manipool on Frat.
So Manipole did that. He's doing that. See, I pointed that cover out on the the top pick video that I do with Chris the Comic Vet. That Francis Manipole variant right there. I love that.
Yeah,
That's
give me a
cool.
second. I'll go grab it now. Yep, that's the one.
Because
I'll go
what's so
grab it.
fire about it is like you got his wife Linda and his kids back there in suit. I mean, that's just a great Wally cover.
That's dope.
It also is kind of
I'm
nice
gonna-
too.
oh.
Go ahead.
No,
Go
okay,
ahead.
I'm gonna back out. Thank you, Mark, as always, for inviting me. Always happy to join. I want to plug the channel just because I'm getting back into doing content tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I'm dropping my new video where I pick up legit the biggest book I've ever picked up in my life, and it's the first video that was done in the new setup. So I hope
For
everybody
context, how long have you had this book?
for a while.
No, that's a serious question. If you're okay
Oh.
with answering it, just because somebody asked me who's part of the Link Squad and gets the Patreon early content, and they caught it in your little tease you put out for your Patreon members.
How long I had the book? So I had that book since January.
Yeah. So Becker asked me, "Oh, sweet, when did you pick it up?" And he asked me if you got it from a specific person. I'm like, I'll be honest with you, I can't remember because he's had it for at least 4 or 5 months now.
Yeah. So I had it for that long, and I always said, because at that time we first started doing construction here, and I was just like, I want that because it's such a monumental event in my life. I wanted it to be in the new room, the first video before any room tour or anything like that. I wanted that to be my first video.
Yeah, and dude, shout out to you and your willpower because it was tough. I know that you had a couple days there where you're like, I need content,
Yeah.
thinking about doing this, and we're all like, no, you're not, dude.
Yeah. Nah, thank you for
No
talking.
way.
All right, let me back out of here. Enjoy the rest of the night, guys. I'll holla at you.
Take it easy.
All right.
So for
peace.
those also that the channel sponsor, Big Time Collectibles. This is the foil logo one that they did for Flash 800. Gorgeous book. I believe that one sold out of raw and CGC copies. Last I looked, they did have platinum edition ones left though.
Yeah. Isn't the yellow one supposed to be coming out too?
Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, you can buy. It's a Dallas Expo or Texas Expo exclusive.
No, it's Dallas.
Dallas Expo exclusive.
Yeah.
The reverse Flash one.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going back to the other foil that you said that you have, Izzy, is one thing I like about that is like in the contents are all former Flash writers, right, and that are doing the writing. But Francis Manipool, obviously in the new 52, he wrote and drew the Flash as when the new 52 came along. So
There it is.
so they got him involved as well, which was nice.
Look at that thing. That thing is gorgeous. See the lightning. Look at it's right there. The logo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. Just the logo spoiled on it.
Yeah. So
The lightning is too.
The lightning
wow.
bolt is too. So this is the first time I take it out of the bag, but then you got the back as well.
Oh, yeah, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really nice. And I think this is a cover. This is a cover price. This is not like a ratio.
Yeah. No, it's an open to order one.
Yeah. So it's that you got that one that came out. I also got this because you see, Josh is a dealer, so he gets the books already. So this is the other one I picked. I picked up this one.
Mm-hmm. Is that Michael Cho?
Yeah, the Michael Cho cover. I thought this was gorgeous.
Yeah, that is gorgeous. Reminds me of Samney's artwork a little bit.
Yeah. Also came out this week. Steelworks.
Oh, I'm excited for that. Yeah. The backup was leading into it have been solid. Wow.
That's a great callback to the Man of Steel #1.
But the best thing is he's homaging himself.
Exactly. Yep.
That's the way to do it.
He's homaging himself, which I like. Which I wasn't a big fan of that amazing. I don't know if you guys saw the Amazing Spider-Man, the one that Ryan Stigman did. I was not a fan of that because he just copied it. This is the other one. Really,
Just
really
the
cool.
A cover.
Yep, this is the cover right here. Clayman.
Yeah. Clay is amazing.
Yeah,
I do
really
like
cool. So those were some of the books. Shazam's coming out this week too. So you got
Yeah,
Shazam.
that A cover for Shazam is fire.
So this
This is
that,
a really solid week for
that
comics.
more. Yeah. So it's a lot of. I got
Did you get the final Dark Knights of Steel?
No, I didn't. No,
Did you get the Peacemaker book?
It's the
Peacemaker,
final
I
one. I
didn't
thought it was
get.
issue 11.
Oh, okay, issue 11. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't get those. The ones that you see here is what I got. The shipment came in already, so of course he lets me take them away, so I could actually review them. So I have to do that.
I love the Peacemaker, the variant that calls back to the Superman in front of the USA emblem with the eagle.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember seeing that one. I haven't seen it yet.
it's an homage to a Golden Age Superman cover.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Daddy, do you want to see
That's cool.
something? Look.
Yeah, so I got those, and then you saw yesterday what I got over at Fan Expo, man. So
Yeah, dude, that was an awesome haul from Fan Expo.
Daddy, I'm missing it.
but this is gorgeous, man. I love
Yeah.
Joe.
That's on
But
me.
Fan Expo, man,
There it is.
so happy about the Wonder Woman. Can't wait to just put this away. This got to get slabbed. Yeah, I saw that Peacemaker. I've seen it. Yeah. So yeah, Fan Expo was great, man. Look at that. Look at the beauty of this book. Look how it
You not
shines.
pick up you didn't grab the Bermejo Batman variant from this week?
No.
I got to get a hold of this one. That's going to be my Flash movie book. Cause I don't think I'm going to grab all of them, but I'll probably grab a few of them to try to put in the Legion loop. Just
Yeah.
for
It
some
looks
food.
really
I
good.
need this one for my PC.
I think it looks really good. I think Batman looks good. I think Supergirl looks good. I like Flash's costume, but something about his face. I don't know what's going on.
Color is off.
Yeah. It's
But
like
I think I like that you have half Keaton and half Batfleck, and the lightning is cutting him.
I see it. I didn't notice that at first. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it in the right portion too. Like I like that they did Keaton's head. I'm really excited for that movie.
Daddy, is it okay if I keep this in here
Yeah, absolutely.
until I find the other piece today?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, when I find the other piece, I'm gonna put it back in.
It sounds like a plan.
I'm waiting.
Is your
for-
shirt on backwards? I don't think so. I think it is. Here. Is there? Yeah, it is. Well, guys, y'all want to talk about the book that you read this week, Paul?
Eh,
Yeah. We'll touch on books. We'll get caught up on books when we have more time later.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
going to be a lot to talk about next week. We'll be doing Transformers in the front end. Of course, we'll have TM Nerdy here. I'm going to see if Flash by Night is available. Dude, Izzy, if you want to come back and talk, you're most definitely more than welcome on
If
that.
it's possible, I will. I'll let you know for sure. You know, I was
Um,
fighting to get on today. I was like, it was like, aren't we watching something? I was like, yeah, but I gotta talk about Spider-Man.
Dude,
I
I
got
appreciate you hopping on. I definitely need TJ and TM. We need our T's. We need our power bottom. TM Nerdy will definitely be back. I'm sure.
Power bottom?
Is that-
TM Nerdy is the self-proclaimed and official power bottom of the community. That's his description of himself.
Right.
I'm not picking on the guy. I'm building him up. So, and I know TJ is big excited. Whether they love it, hate it, or like it, I definitely want to know what they think. And yeah.
As long as they get me Unicron right, I'll be happy. That's what I'm looking forward to. Everybody's talking about the Beast Machines. I care about Unicron.
That's exactly what Eman, TJ, and TM all. I mean, TM's excited about the Beast Machines. That's his jam. But like Eman and TJ specifically, when like not Michael Bay Transformer fans at all, but when they saw the trailer and saw how Unicron was represented, they're like, dude, they popped. Like
Well,
Eman put out a
Unicron
video
is
soaking
represented
wet from the bottom up.
RC, even though she's not a car, they made her into a car in this movie. But when she transforms into the robot, it's the same RC as in the movie. As
Yeah,
in the
she looks spot on. She's a motorcycle, isn't she?
She's a motorcycle.
Monkeys has that toy. My kids have so many Transformer
Yeah,
movies.
RC, and she's always been a motorcycle. I don't know why they turned her into a car for this one. That didn't make any sense to me. That was a weird change. But yeah, and I think that's what makes this movie interesting is that you are trying to get multiple generations for this one, where you got the fans of the Beast Machines because they came out in the latter 90s, 2000s.
early mid 90s, because
Yeah,
I was born in 87 and I came up with the first series of Beast Wars.
yeah. It wasn't Beast Machines first, then Beast Wars.
No, it was Beast
I
Wars
remember.
first. Yeah,
So-
TM put it in the chat early on when I mentioned that, but it had to be Beast Wars first because I didn't keep up with Beast Machines. I watched
Yeah.
Beast Wars and all toys from that.
Because I saw one of them, but I don't remember which one I saw. But I was a huge Transformers fan from the 80s, man. When I grew up in the 80s, I cried when Optimus died. I was one of those kids, because it was
I think a lot of
that big
people
of a
do.
deal. When they
Let's
did
see.
that scene, that the first 30 minutes of that movie is amazing. And then the artwork still holds up even to today.
Yeah, dude, you can't. I'm of the mindset that you cannot beat like actual animation with computer cartoon animation. I just don't. It doesn't have the same like I don't know. It doesn't have the same depth of emotion for me, which is weird because I feel like you can do more with computer fake animation, but it just doesn't hit the same for me.
Yeah. Well, you gotta. I think the trick is to if you're gonna use computer animation, do it in a way that it still resembles, hand drawn animation. You know what I mean? When you could do that, and because let's face it, it's easier. It makes the process go faster, right? If you could do that, if you could make that happen, then I'm all for it. I don't like the fact that you got these companies that are getting away from the old style. I understand time and money, but man, it's nothing like good classic animation, man. Nothing like it.
Yeah.
I say you're not close.
Why do I need to close it? You got hands and feet. I know I do too, but my hands and feet aren't even on the ground. Kids, no, they're not. Look again. I've been sitting like this for a while, buddy. Your feet are already on the ground. You're closer. What's going on, Nick? Big shout out to Nick. I do need to point out Nick has the Tulsa comic swap coming. and that's going to be on Father's Day, I believe.
Oh no.
You're not going to be able to do that, buddy.
Can
So
you
it's
get
going to
up
be
there?
on Father's Day weekend.
I
So
wanna see.
follow Nick right there on Instagram. If you don't have those details, if you're in the Tulsa area, it's going to be a fantastic time.
I will be able to get
No, because I'm asking you not to. It'll make me fall out of the chair. But yeah, check that out. There it is.
Free
June
admission.
18th, free admission.
That's
Yeah,
where-
it's free to get in, but he's charging, I think he said it's $30 if you think you're going to leave, and then it's negotiable after. It'll be located at the Hotel California.
You got to pay to get out. That's like going to New Jersey.
Exactly.
New Jersey is the only state that is free to get in, but you have to pay to get out. That's a fact.
The flash fact.
Yeah.
All right, my kids are over here acting a donkey. That's going to be it. I have a new little comic history type video that I have prepared for tomorrow. Wednesday is another whatnot conversation. It's an actual conversation about whatnot for Wednesday. Tuesday is new DC Day. Friday, community hangout. And Sunday will be the Transformer special. Izzy has the sketchy show on Thursday. You doing the pool list
Tomorrow.
on
Wow.
the pool list is tomorrow?
Yeah. We'll probably review some of these books. We'll get a chance to even talk about it now.
And then Wednesday, 9:30, Sector 2815. It's Guess That Key. Show up, show out, see if you have what it takes to guess that key. And who knows? Probably have a chance to win something.
And if you're interested, if you're hyped for the Flash movie, it was all based on Flashpoint. And tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, Mark and I will go do a deep dive, a special edition deep dive on Flashpoint, the miniseries. So that'll be on my channel as well.
Wait 1 second. Are you referring to this book?
Yes.
This book,
Oh! Well, mine's
Paul,
got
look what's shown. One day late.
Oh,
One
man.
day late.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, if you want some context for the upcoming Flash movie, if you're not well versed in DC stuff or just want to be more versed or wonder someone else's take, we tackle Flashpoint and kind of go over some of the important stuff, what we expect to see paralleled in the movie and stuff like that, and go back to the week before because we actually did a deep dive on the 3-issue official movie prequel that bridges the gap between Zack Snyder's Justice League and the upcoming Flash film. There's a lot of context in that you're definitely going to want going into this movie, I promise.
Exactly.
So I appreciate everybody. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, help battle the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a member of the Legion. Until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.
And you're welcome to come use one of the 8 easels we have set up for creating art here at the show for consideration for our art auctions on Saturday for our major auction at 8 p.m. at the Westin Ballroom. And the smaller auctions we'll have here on the convention floor on Sunday starting at noon.
That's a flash from the past.
So any artist that we have here, either